In today's video, I'm going to share with you what it looks like when you're avoiding your dinero or your money, why you shouldn't avoid your dinero, and 3 things that you can do to stop avoiding that money. Lista? You ready? Well, my name is Jen Hemphill, and I am here to help you become the queen of your money, or as we say in Spanish, la reina de su dinero. This way you can become more confident, manage more simply, and love your dinero more, because who doesn't want to love their money more, right? While you're thinking about it, go ahead and subscribe to this video and hit the bell button so you get notifications as soon as a new video goes live. So go ahead and do it while you're thinking about it, because you'll forget, like I do. I'm curious, do any of these describe you? You avoid like the plague looking at your bank account. You continue to let those bills pile up on the shelf. You say you're going to start saving next month, and then next month rolls around and you say the same thing, and the cycle repeats over and over again. You were afraid to look at your net worth. You have no idea how much money you're spending, and you don't even want to look at how much debt that you have. Does this describe you? If so, let us know in the comments. And if you have other ways that you avoid your money that we didn't mention, we all want to hear this, because I bet you there is one other person watching this video that is doing the exact same thing you are. So why shouldn't you avoid your money? Aside from the obvious, simply put, avoiding your money is not going to get you anywhere. You're going to be stuck in the same spot of maybe not having any more money in your savings, maybe not paying off debt. So you need to start looking at your money, because essentially that money, as much fear as you have, they're just numbers. That's it. That money are those numbers, and you need to know those numbers to be able to know where you're at so you can move forward. You can't move forward without knowing where you're at, right? It's like driving around with your blindfold on, right? If you don't know where you're at, how are you going to know how to get where you need to go, right? You have to know where you're at initially. Granted, sometimes even if you are avoiding your money, you may catch a lucky break or two. But if you face your money head on, you're going to improve your odds of moving forward so much more than if you keep neglecting it. So for now, forget that feeling of failure. Forget that feeling of fear. Forget all that. Set that aside and start facing your money. Set that aside, because beating yourself up over this is not going to do anybody any good. There are 3 things that you can do. Number 1 is to give yourself the grace that things are going to improve. So just take a moment and just breathe and just tell yourself, and deep down be confident in yourself that things are going to improve. So that's number 1. Number 2, you really want to take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, what is triggering this fear? What is triggering you avoiding your money? Is it something that you experienced? Do you have a direct experience with some negative event that impacted you that you haven't realized consciously that it's impacted you? Is it something that you heard over and over again growing up? Is it something that you saw? What exactly is triggering this? And you have to ask yourself, because if you don't ask yourself, you're not aware. And if you're not aware, you can't improve. So that's number 2. You want to take a look at the mirror and ask yourself, what do you see in the mirror, and what is triggering this fear and avoidance with your money? And number 3, you just simply want to ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what is the worst thing that can happen if I look at this money? If I look at the accounts, if I look at how much debt that I owe, if I look at the bills and open them up and pay them, what is the worst thing that can happen? And number 2, what is the best thing that can happen? And write those things down. So the 2 questions to ask is what is the worst thing that can happen? And spoiler alert, nothing bad is gonna happen. And number two, what is the best thing that can happen if you look at those numbers, if you look at your bank account, if you look at how much debt that you owe? Those are the 3 tips to help you stop avoiding that money. Today, we talked about what it looks like when you're avoiding your money. We also talked about why it's not good to avoid your money. And I also shared with you 3 tips to help you stop avoiding your money. If you enjoy this video, I encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future videos with any other tips. I appreciate you being here, and I want you to pick one thing that you took away from this video and apply it. Take action on it so you can become the reina of your money and love your dinero more. Ciao.